Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine and you are doing your study also. Okay, so our last video was about chapter number 1, in which I told you the classification of computers, mini computers, mainframe, supercomputers. These all computers I told, and you find some same features also in all the computers, that they take input, then they process the data, then they give the output. Today we are going to read or study about the common task done by all types of computers. So come on the screen. What is common in all types of computers? All types of computers follow the same basic logical structure and perform the 5 basic operations to convert data into useful information. So how the input converted into output, which all steps are covered by the computer to make the input to output. So first of all comes serial number, operation and description. First of all the computers, they take input. What do they? They take input from the user or from the input devices. Then what happened? The process of entering data and instructions into the computer. Take input carries the processing of entering data and instructions. Then second number, all the computers stores the data, store data, saving data and instructions so that they are available for processing as and when required. So this work is also done by all the computers, storing and processing the instructions or data. Third is processing, performing arithmetic, logical operations on data in order to convert them into useful information. Children, the work which is done by CPU, that is processing of data, that all the computers do perform this task, that is processing of data, and with this task the raw data is converted into the useful information. No doubt this work is performed by all types of computer, whether it is mainframe, mini computer or supercomputer. Now come to fourth part, very important, output information, means to give result. The process of producing useful information or results for the user, such as a printed report or visual display. This work is also the common with all the computer. It is performed by all types of computers, because whatever you are giving to computer, the instructions or the data, whatever you are giving through input devices, that work is stored in the CPU. It is processed by the CPU, then it is converted into results. So the result can be in printed form or in visual form. So this is a common task done by all types of computer. Now fifth one is control the workflow. Direct the manner and sequence in all the above operations are performed. This is control workflow. The control unit perform this work. The control unit CU perform this task to control the data and to manage all kinds of processing. After that the result comes, and the controlling of instructions and data is very important, is performed by all types of computer. Now come here. Now I understand that, see this child, he also just telling something. I understand that a CU acts like a traffic constable and only directs data and information. CU, the control unit, very important, and it directs the data and information. Come here. CPU consists these units: memory unit, control unit, arithmetic and logic unit. See, the input comes inside the CPU. The input is taken by CPU. Then it is processed. It is stored. It is processed and it is directed or managed by the CPU. These all three units are very, very important. Memory unit to store the data, control unit to control all kinds of operations and the instructions and the raw data, and third one, the arithmetic and logic unit to perform these type of operations or processing. So these three units are very important to convert input into output. So the output, now come on, output unit. Output unit shows the result which is received after processing. So you can see this structure and just have a look and understand again. Input unit gives input to the computer, means the data is given by this unit. Then the CPU, these three units, one store the data, second control the data, third operate the data or process the data. After the performance of these three units, the data is sent to output unit, and the output unit present the output or result to the user. So this is very important to understand this block diagram of a computer. It can come in your exam also to draw a block diagram of computer. So this structure you are to keep in your mind and you are to understand the role of each and every unit. Now come on, input unit. What is input unit? I told you about some input devices which are used to give input to the computer. Here the same will be followed. The input unit contains devices using which we can enter data into a computer. It forms a link between the user and the computer. The same thing I told you when I was telling the block diagram, that we enter the data through the input units, input devices. The input devices translate the information from humans into the form of understandable by the computer. Okay, so these devices, they just translate the instructions which are given by the human. They translate it into the computer language, and the computer language is 0 and 1. Computer understand only binary language digit, that is 0 or 1. So following functions are performed by an input unit. What all things are done by this? Number 1, it accepts the instruction and data from a user. Okay, the data which you will give to the computer is accepted by the input unit. And second, it converts these instructions and data into computer acceptable form. See, I told you that computer can understand only binary digit. Simple English which you speak or which you enter is not read by the computer, not understood by the computer. So here the conversion is very, very important. So who converts this? Who converts your language into machine, that computer language? That is input unit. Input unit converts your language or the user's language into the computer acceptable form. Okay, if the computer will understand, then only the processing will be done, then only we will get the output. Third is, it supplies the converted instructions and data to the computer system for further processing. So when the data is taken by from the user, when it is converted into the computer language, and after that it supplies for the processing. It is supplied to the CPU. So all these things are done by the input units. Okay, so you are to take care, you are to just read this part of this chapter carefully to get knowledge about the input unit, or to get the concept clarity about how the input goes to the CPU and what all things are done by the input units. Clear? Here two devices are given which are used to accept data from the user: keyboard, joystick, and many more input devices I have told you in my previous videos. So go through those videos also. Now come on, next, CPU, Central Processing Unit. Central Processing Unit. Here we will read about the role of CPU. CPU is like a brain of computer. It work like human brain, as human brain helps the person to move for his movement or for his decision making process. Similarly, a CPU also play a role like a brain of computer. CPU perform all type of data processing operations. It stores data and intermediate results and instructions. It controls the operation of all computer parts. So very important role is played by the CPU for getting result from the computer. It controls all the internal and external devices, perform arithmetic logical operations also, and the operations that a microprocessor performs are called the instruction set of processor. Children, I told you about the role which is played by the CPU. See, first of all, it stores the data. Then it processes the data. That it perform the logical and arithmetical operations also. It controls the data and the information too. So these all work are done by the CPU. For these all, it has some units which are very, very important, and these units we will study in the next video. So focus on this video and read the video and read the PDF which I will send you. Okay, so I hope CPU, input unit, and the block diagram is clear to you all. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be coming with the new concept of 3 units of CPU day after tomorrow. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video.